And now, one of the stars of Tick, Tick, Boom and a lifelong movie lover herself, Vanessa Hudgens!
And right now, we have DJ MOS here. He is making a special appearance on the Oscars red carpet tonight. He already has had us dancing a couple of times, so...
Welcome to another episode of Lamor's More Fitness and Finance. And today we have a real special guest, one of the biggest DJs in the world right now. He done Oscar events. He done worked with some of the biggest in the industry. We have DJ MOS in the building.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, I was looking at your bio yesterday, and you've done a lot.
I've been around a long time.
Yeah. So how long you been DJing?
I actually got my first set of turntables probably like when I was 14, like maybe like 95, 96. I'm old.
Look, old is just it don't mean there's no old. It's it's how you feel, Okay, there you go. Well marinated. I like that. So, I'm gonna start using that.
So I've been DJing for over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But doing like nightclubs and nightlife, probably 20 years. Dang,
that's dope. So when did you realize that you were actually good at DJing?
That's a good question. I guess around 2002, 2003 when I first got like my first residency in New York City. Again, when I started, I was, my early 20s, what I mean?
And that's where you're from, New York?
I'm from New York,
okay.
Yeah. So I was like 22, 23, and I remember I was DJing this party for a lot of these. This dude named Voodoo Ray is the first guy who gave me my shot.
He was a DJ too, or
no,
what?
Voodoo Ray is legendary dancer in New York.
Oh, okay,
City.
all right.
He passed away 5 years ago, but
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But yeah, mentor. But yeah, he gave me my first gig, and he's a legendary dancer from back in the day. And all of his friends and client people that come out to his parties were all these old school legends, like hip hop, dance, just everything. So I remember I'd play for them, and they'd be like, "Yo, how old are you? How do you know that stuff?" I remember remember people having a great time, and always singing my praises at the event. So that really gave me the confidence to you know what, I could do it. I'm good at this.
That's dope.
I like, and I enjoy doing it.
So you have an old soul, you would say, because they were saying some of the music.
Into, digging and listening to classics, so that's always influenced what I play.
That's dope. So what sets you apart from other DJs? Because there's a lot of DJs out there, and it was funny. I was talking about you to Nick, and Nick was like, "I'm glad he's an actual DJ, because it's a lot of
different.
Yeah.
I would say that again, my appreciation for the music that came before. I love to love samples. I love playing classics. I love the history of nightlife and history of DJing. I remember when I first started doing clubs in New York. I was I remember they would go online and find Larry Levan was a legendary DJ in New York at the Paradise Garage. I remember they had a list of 5,000 songs that he would were staples at the Paradise.
5,000?
5,000 songs. A list of 5,000 songs that were played at the Paradise Garage. And I remember I would go through this list trying to find every single one of these records and listen to them. This is back when LimeWire was the thing.
That's dedication, man.
This is pretty iTunes. You have to go on LimeWire.
Oh, yeah. You don't think about that because everything you really had to work way harder back then.
Yeah, I either have to go to the record store and find the records, or I'd have to go onto LimeWire and see if I can download it or whatever. So, yeah. So that's kind of how it's just my obsession with just music that came before and just discovering new sounds,
That's dope. So what's your favorite genre of music to DJ? If you had to choose one.
That's a hard one. I love classic hip hop, but I also love classic dance music. You know what I'm saying? The music just puts people on the floor, dance floor. But also music that's nostalgic, that brings back a memory for people.
So is music to you is a science, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So you hear music different than most of.
I mean, I would say that most good DJs hear music like that. You know what I'm saying? It's you're trying to evoke an emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I get kind of frustrated when people keep talking about just play the new hits. It's listen, you can play the new hits, but you got to play those records that bring people back to a place. You're trying to create an emotion. Of course, you play the new records that are popping, but you gotta again, you're kind of curating an experience. It's like telling an artist, like, only I need you to paint a picture, but paint it only in red.
Right.
And red and black. It's like, dude, there's so many other colors in the spectrum. Like, we gotta let us paint.
Right.
Let me paint right now. Right now I'm putting red in. Let me put some yellow in at some point. Like, just relax.
So do you guys get mad when people come up to you and they're like, "Hey, can you play this song next?" Like,
I mean, sometimes, listen, like, sometimes the song that they're asking for works. There's a couple times I've gotten requests. Like, I'll be like, yo, that's a good one. I'm going to incorporate that. But other times it's like, yo, can you play Bad Bunny right now? I'm like, yo. You'll be like, yo, I'm playing Bad Bunny I am actually playing Bad Bunny while you're requesting Bad Bunny, you know?
Like, this is not a Bad Bunny
a lot
concert.
of times it's just somebody drunk, like, just...
So what's been like your favorite event to DJ so far? Because you've done the Oscars.
Me and my wife DJs as well. And we DJ we've been DJing the red carpet of the Oscars and the Governor's Ball, which is the after party.
Okay.
For the last like 6 years.
Wow. So how did you lock that in? That's pretty dope.
Well, we from New York, so we moved here to LA. I remember one night we were watching the Oscars.
Wait, so you and your wife started like DJing at the same time, or like?
No, she was a VIP host at this club called PM in New York. Which is like a really hot club in New York, and it was and that was one of my first big residencies. And we just kind of connected through music. She used to bring me drinks, and we'd always talk about music. And then I remember she used to ask me, like, hey, do you have this song? Like, it would be the sample to some record and whatever. I'd be like, nah, I don't. So I remember, like, the next week she brought a CD with all these songs that I didn't have.
Oh,
and I was like,
that's
yo.
a keeper. Huh?
She's like a model. She's model gorgeous. So I was like, wait, if you started DJing, like, you would kill the game right now. And she's like, well, I've talked to the DJs. They don't want to teach me to DJ. And I was like, yo, I'll give you lessons. Shit, I'll give you lessons, girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's your number, right?
That's a dope story.
So she invited her over to start teaching the DJ. And then, like, she kind of... I'd have her, like, close at clubs that I'm DJing. I'd have her close out. One of my residencies I wanted to leave, so I gave it to her. And she just popped the fuck off. Like, she was doing stuff for, like, you know, Puff's birthday parties and all that stuff from the beginning. And she's good. Like, she's one of those people that just got it. You know what I mean?
I love that. You're a good dude too, because you know not a lot of people
try to it's like you teach me competition, but like, nah, I don't look at it as competition, man.
Right.
Like, DJ in this community, and like, you know, people like, again, you know, it's like tennis, like it's a solo sport. It is in some respects, but like when it comes to clients, if I'm DJing for a client and then the client decides to book you over me, that's on me. That client really wasn't mine in the first place.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? We can all just be the best that we can be, and like, these people choose who they want to fuck with.
Yeah.
I mean, don't undercut people.
Right.
Obviously, you don't talk shit about people in order to get jobs, you know? But, you know, there's enough money out here for everybody.
That part. Yeah. Don't be monkeys in a barrel.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how was it working at the Oscar event?
The Oscars is fun.
Yeah, because you were on TV. You were on ABC for that too.
Yeah,
right?
so they
you
kind
were
of
actually like hosting the actual event and DJing. Like, that's dope.
I was the actual voice. I guess they call it the voice of God. So like the announcer for the red carpet show with Vanessa Hudgens and them. But so they kind of like started upping our visibility on, because they actually created the DJ booth on the red carpet for us. Like, there was never really so we started doing the Governor's Ball.
So that was specifically for you.
Yeah, so when we started doing the Oscars, it was just the governor. We were just doing the Governor's Ball, the after party. So then they decided, hey, let's put the DJs on like the red carpet to start, just to add some like vibe to the red carpet, because there usually wasn't any music. It was just people walking in. So they put us up in like a balcony for a couple of years, and then this year they were like, hey, let's just put them on like the actual red carpet. And shout out to Will Packer and his team for
That's dope.
And my boy Sean for that layup. And then they said, hey, you're gonna speak on camera, and I was like, what do you mean I'm gonna speak on camera? Like, what are you talking about?
Were you nervous at first or what?
I'm not. I hate being on camera, to be honest.
Really?
With you. I'm not. I've really suffered from like stage fright and anxiety my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, I've had to, like, even when I'm talking on the mic when I'm in the club, like I had to practice and really work at getting doing that. So
how long did it take you to get used to speaking?
It's a year. It's like, dude, there's a point in time like I couldn't even like be like, I need everybody to please take your seats like at an event. Like, I'd be like fumbling words because I was so nervous just talk. Like, I would just like DJ with my head down for a lot of years. But it took practice and time for me to like like I really wanted to be better at it.
Right.
And I really, like I said, again, I played instruments when I was in high school. So I was in jazz bands. So I'd have to like do solos. I was petrified of doing that. So I always wanted to kind of get over that stage fright.
The more you do it, you know.
The more you do it, you get used to it. That's exactly. You like to conquer things that you're afraid of. So.
And look at that. And now you're hosting the Oscars.
Yeah,
like
that was
the
ultimate thing.
Yeah.
But like again, all that practice of me doing it over the years and pushing myself to do that made it so much easier because I was petrified and nervous doing it, but because I'd been in that situation where I had to speak in front of people and behind a DJ booth, it became a lot easier.
That's so crazy.
Like even at the time, like again, I had a teleprompter and I had lines, and like this is live. Like I'm not. There's no second takes. Like,
well, you did a good job. Yeah, I seen the video.
I practiced the hell out of it.
I know when you got that memo, you were like, "Oh, I'm doing the Oscars. All right."
I had more lines too, but I feel like they cut it off. I feel like there was again. I'm not Terrence J, so I know there's a point in time where like, all right, let's have Terrence read these lines because he's not like.
That's so funny.
He's not exactly what we're looking for, but I got through it, which I'm proud of.
So would you ever consider hosting like a TV show now?
I don't think I'm that level yet. My wife is better at that at those things than I am. She's done like stand-up comedy, which is
really
wild. Like,
wow,
which completely
and she's
blew my
funny.
mind. She's funny, but like she took a comedy class a couple years ago, and then they had her do like a showcase where she had to get up in front of people and do a set.
Wow. And
I was like, I couldn't.
Yeah, because comedy is a whole different beast.
That's a whole nother thing. You're trying to get people to laugh. You're not reading lines. You're just out here just making up jokes.
Right.
I'm like,
you say a joke and people not looking at you.
I mean,
not laughing at you. That's the worst.
That might be the next thing I try to accomplish.
I'll be there. I'll clap for you.
It.
I'll make sure.
I appreciate it.
As a DJ, do you consider yourself like? Have you ever broken an artist or anything like that, or?
Not technically, not really. I would say, okay, there's one record. Okay, the record Coco by OT Genesis.
Oh yeah, that's the homie.
Okay, so this is according to Busta Rhymes. So I remember when we were so we're in New York at this place called One Oak. I'm sure most people are familiar with it. So I remember like Busta Rhymes, like again in New York, he comes around the club.
Yeah.
He's consistent. He comes around with a USB. With his artists and like every night, every week, busting the club like 3-4 nights a week and pushing the artists. So I remember he's pushing OT Genesis, and I remember like that day. I don't know why I had the record from the night before, and then like so I think I had the record on a Wednesday night. He gave it to me. Then I played at Oak on a Thursday, and I remember when my boy Chef Robe like comes through and was like, "Yo, you played a Coco record?" So I'm like, cool. So I played the Coco record, and then he was like, yo, play it. And then everyone started going crazy. I was like, yo, so I played it again. Then I remember we filmed it and sent to the Busta, and then Busta came to the club, and then we just kept playing it back to back, and people going crazy. And I remember Busta coming to me later and be like, yo, dude, like you're one of the first people like really like set that off in the clubs in New York.
That's dope. So
I never got a plaque, but so I was waiting for my plaque.
Well, you hear us, Busta? He waiting for his plaque because that song went big.
Yeah,
that
but again,
song, yeah.
he does it. He brings it to a lot of different people. There's a lot of different DJs in New York playing, so I know a bunch of us had it. But I just remember that night, like.
But he was just like off the love, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know? So, how. That song was like all over the world.
That record is huge.
Yeah, I guess it's Coco. You know, everyone can relate to the word Coco, like either chocolate or
chocolate mocha.
Yeah, or
you think that's what he meant?
Yeah, that's what he meant. No, I'm joking.
I'm going with that. Yeah.
That's so funny. Hey, so I was looking at a podcast that you're on, and. You know, you're a dope DJ, you do the Oscars, but I remember you were talking about there was a time you bombed at Live in Miami. Yeah, that was tough. I went to that club for the first time last year. Okay, because it was my first time visiting Miami. That's a big club.
Huge. Yeah.
So what happened? Like how do you bounce back from something like that? Because
look, in my defense, like I was still kind of new in the game. You know what I mean? Like. So there's a club called Stereo in New York that was like the hottest club in New York. But like in New York, a lot of clubs are just lounges. It's like big lounges and shit. So I'd never done like a big like like I would say arena type club,
so
like
this
a
your first time,
mansion, live, like
Yeah.
even like the story. Like at that point, I hadn't done it, but like Miami was known for like they had mansion, they had like what's the other name? I think Privé. I mean, Privé's more of a lounge, but like Live was like a big club. So I remember like I'm used to playing lounges, so I'm like playing for like. I'm playing like I was like opening for DJ AM and those kind of DJs. So like I'm up there playing like hip hop, and I'm also playing like Whitney Houston and Madonna and like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Miami's whole vibe was totally different.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really traveled at that point, so like I remember, and then where I got booked.
Damn, and nobody gave you no insight, like, hey, this is the type of.
Well, here's the thing: Live had just opened. So Live had just opened. Like this was the night I played was either the first or second Friday it was open. Because I heard about the club and I sent them a DM to somebody on MySpace.
MySpace. Oh,
it's
man.
back on MySpace. That
was a while ago.
I sent an email. I sent a DM to this dude, some promoter I found on MySpace from Live, and then one of my boys called me. He was like, "Dude, I'm working at Live. Dude, I'm booking the DJs." I'm like, "Yo, what can I do?" He's like, "Yo, I'll fly you in." So flew me into Miami, and I played at Live, and like I wasn't used to like the size. I didn't like
because it's 2 stories, right? It's Live.
Well, it's like it's a main floor, and then you have like a balcony that goes around.
Yeah.
But again, this is like the beginning, first or second Friday, so it's not full. It's like half full. So it's half full already. So like it's not really gonna be.
And this is a big ass club. I went there to last year, and it's big. So.
Yeah. So imagine like you're like trying to perform in front of like a half full venue. Like it's like you can't. It's not like people are like, "All right, DJ, make me dance," as opposed to like this is packed, it's popping.
Right.
So I was already like, it was already gonna be a bad night. You know what I mean? So then on top of it, I'm like, first time really DJing in Miami, not really knowing like, yo, you gotta play like more like trap, like hip hop and like house. I was like all over the place. Then I started drinking too much, and it just was bad.
That's never good.
It was a bad night.
Oh, drinking too much. Hey, speaking of that, did you well, before I get into that, so
I recovered. Oh, how'd I recover from that?
Yeah.
So Dave Grover.
So how did you know you did bad though?
I could just do it. You just know. It's like
no one came up to you and was like, "Hey, you suck."
Oh no, like you could see the crowd was just not feeling it, and I could tell like it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then I want to say it might have got pulled off, maybe. But I remember my manager telling me like, yeah. Dave Grumman said like, you will never play at this club again. I was like, oh shit.
Have you since then?
No. So what happened was, so how I recovered. So I remember months later, like, no. What happened was, I got pulled off, and like I just never heard from them anymore. And then then I got Jessica Rosenblum, who's like a legend in New York. She used to manage Flex and them. She started managing me and my wife. So I remember telling her about my Live situation. And she's like, I'm good friends with Dave. Let me call him and see what's up. Okay. Like, so she called Dave up, and she called me back. She's like, yo, Dave said, nah, he's never playing here ever again.
Man.
So I learned. So like, so it was like
he was really like,
it's the initial. It was the initial sting, and then like maybe like a couple of weeks later, another like a year or two later, it was like another like blow. Like, nah, nigga, you suck.
Oh man.
But then she eventually convinced him to give me another opportunity, and like to her benefit, like one of the best. I mean, she was so ride or die. She was like, look, I got a crib in Miami. Why don't you come down, stay with me? We're gonna go fly in the week before. No, we're gonna fly in a couple weeks before on a Friday and sit and listen to DJs. So we went in, we sat in the back, checked out the DJ, we just sat there all night listening to the club. I was like kind of observing how people were moving, and then I was like, then I was like, all right, cool, I get it now. I get, because then, you know what I mean, I wasn't flying myself to Miami. So I got a chance to really vibe out and hear what they were playing in the club. I was like, okay, I get it. And then I kind of had some time to put together my set. So when I went back and played, like I crushed it. When I say crushed it, like it's supposed to close like around 4:30. Like people in there till like 5:30 in the morning. It was nuts. To the point where like she got a call the next day. Like they were like, "Hey, I don't know what your boy did last night, but I'm getting calls at like 5:15 in the morning. Like, yo, the club is still packed and popping. Like
that shit is crazy."
So after that, I was a resident. I was playing at Live like once a month. I did like New Year's Eve 3 years in a row. I was played with Calvin Harris. Cascade. Me and Kiss did like.
That's dope. Look, you know what?
Yeah, me and Kiss
I love hearing
a book together.
I love hearing stuff like that because it shows like when you have faith and you do not give up.
Yeah.
Like nothing can stop you.
Yeah, that's kind of been my thing.
Yeah.
Like in my career, it's been like I know, like when someone tells me no, it's motivation for me to like figure out why and try to change that no into a yes. Like I'd never take things personally. Like I just like anytime I make a mistake or there's a rejection, I just look at it as an opportunity to kind of improve and you know what I'm saying, and take things to the next level. So like I've always been persistent.
So what's the most difficult part of like being a DJ? Because I feel like it's something like it's just so fun. Like, is there anything difficult? Like
it's fun, but like first of all, nowadays there's so many DJs. It's like it's so much
saturated?
competition. Yeah, back in the day it was like there are a bunch of gatekeepers. Like you just to get to the level where people are taking you seriously. Like you just have to overcome all of like again like when I was coming up, you had like Clark Kent, Stretch Armstrong, Big Ben, like Reach, like all these people who had already established that they're in the clubs. And they're only like, there were a lot of clubs, but like they're all using the same big DJs, like Mark Ronson. I'm like, dude, I'm not. Mark Ronson's famous. Like, how am I supposed to get a job? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you have to work your way up to that point and like, pay your dues. But nowadays, it's easier to DJ because you have more access to the records and more access to music and technology. But there's so many DJs, and everybody's trying to compete for like the same.
So how do you
venues.
How do you stay on top?
For me, I was lucky to come up in an era where like now I'm already established. So like again.
So you you the OG. In the game. So like they got to come to you for respect.
Yeah. Now I'm like starting like again I've always been like felt
That's
like
dope.
the underdog, and like only recently, last couple of years, have I been like, oh shit, you know what? I'm kind of like, all right, I'm established where I can walk into some place and like niggas like, oh hey, when can you start? You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
But still, you have to have that hunger to want to improve and be better. I think that what a lot of DJs now are doing, and advice that I've given a lot of DJs is like, yo, start your own event.
Yeah.
There's so many. The venues right kids
now
are not
when you say start your own event, will like put on your own like
put on your own party, like the do-over, like ice cream sundaes, like all those like all these pop-up parties that are happening, everyday people like. So
how do you do that? Do you get like a promotion team, or like if you're a DJ by yourself, or you just go
I did it. I used to, my wife and I and our partner Damon started a party Baby I'm a Star back in New York. This is like over 10 years ago. And then we did something out here called Party and Bullshit that popped off. And again, we just invited our friends and it turned it into a thing. But I think what a lot of these kids are doing now is just finding a cool little venue downtown, wherever, and just inviting your friends out and just doing that consistently and building an audience. Because there are people out here that don't want to wait online at Poppy or to try to get in or Nightingale on a Sunday and have somebody try to overcharge them for bottle service, and you and your friends can't get in. Like, it just takes all the fun out of nightlife. I
feel like the clubs are different now too. Like they just be in there like smoking and just standing in there. Like, it's not like back in the day when people.
It's all about like celebrity and like bottles and stuff, which is like, again, that's great for the clubs and their business model. But like, there's like a whole group of kids and people who just don't want to do that. They want to go out and just have a good time. And I think that like a lot of these young DJs have tapped into that market. Like, you know what I mean? Like my boy Ari Hall, like B Hen, Bella Fiasco, like even like there's so many DJs that are like Sean, what's the name? Sean G. Like there are a lot of people who've gone out there and just kind of tapped into that market. Like, listen, people just want to go out and have fun. They don't want to be worried about bottle service. They want to come and just party with their friends. And they'll pay like $5-10 to get in and pay for drinks and shit. And they've been very successful doing that, And I think that that's where nightlife has gone. I think that's the way to make it nowadays as a DJ.
Yeah, because the stuff is crazy.
Yeah,
like, a bottle would be like what, $1,500.
And you don't even need like a club. Like you could literally bring your controller, plug into the BA system, and you're good. You don't have to buy turntables and. It's not this big. It's the entry. The price of entry is a lot lower right now. You know what I mean? To become a DJ and really go out there and create your own thing. So, I just applaud those guys for doing it. I think it's amazing.
So, have you ever thought about creating a company to where you have like I feel like someone does this where they're the main DJ, but they have DJs under them.
Oh yeah, people have talked to me about. I've talked to people about that, or people have approached me about that, but I have no desire to control another person's career. Does that make sense? First of all, as a DJ, I'm still like booking my own. I'm still like looking out for my own opportunities. So like for me to like find an opportunity and be like, let me give this to you. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but if they're under
I still got some Kobe. There's some Kobe in me too. Like,
all right. You said I ain't done yet.
I'm not done yet, yeah, but no, but at the same rate, it's like I don't feel like I can tell. Again, at 43, I don't feel like I can tell a 25-year-old kid who's starting to DJ what he should do. I think he knows better.
Yeah.
I think he understands his audience and he understands nightlife better than I do. I'm just the OG that the guys at the club that own the club used to party with. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? At some point, like you gotta when I was coming up, I felt like I knew the crowd better than some of the guys that I was opening for. But like, I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I just feel like these kids.
And music does that. It does change, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not to quote Kanye's controversial, right? Like, I don't fuck with Kanye right now. But like one thing he said that made sense is like, listen to the kids, bro. I'm not the kids.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I can tell you what from the knowledge that I've attained through doing this, but like. Y'all know they know their audience better than I do.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. So like I wouldn't want to sit there and try to pigeonhole somebody or try to tell somebody how they should run their career.
So what's the craziest story you have like from DJing? Like any
that I can tell? No.
That that you can
tell. Crazy story from DJing. That's a tough one, bro.
Because I know you guys see all type of stuff, you know.
Craziest story from DJing. I gotta come back to you with that one. That's tough. I mean, I get asked that question like sometimes when I'm on these podcasts, but I can never like come up with a good one. And then when I leave, I'm like, oh wait, I should have told this story. Yeah, I'll try to when I come up with one, I'll let you know.
That's so funny. So as far as like being a DJ, and you said like how to make money, so you said the best way would be to start your own events.
I think you're starting your own event. I mean, first of all, practice and make sure you're good at your craft. Like you gotta work on your craft to make sure that you're competent and you can play. I find like that's the one thing I have to say is that I find there are a lot of DJs starting out that just I don't feel like they're ready. I think they need time. But again, sometimes.
And so, what do you hear to where you can tell if someone is ready or not?
I think mixing. I think like mixing, learning about the music.
And I see you know a lot of history about DJs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean you don't necessarily have to study being a nerd like I am. I think it does help.
Yeah,
but
that's why you DJing at the Oscars.
Yeah, but I'm a little extreme when it comes to it. But I do think that like there's some DJs that are seasoned DJs. I've jumped on their laptop and been like, bro, you don't got this record? But no, I think that like just mastering your craft is the first thing that most like up and coming DJs should do. And then again, obviously make a demo, go out and try to book yourself nights and reach out to people who are doing their own parties and see if you can open up, and I think that's a great way to start. But starting your own party is like an easy way to kind of just do it.
That sounds like fun too.
Especially if you have a great personality and you're like, if you have a great personality and you're a people person, so it's easy.
Yeah. I taught myself to DJ actually.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
A little fun fact. I went on YouTube. I bought the Serato little software to put on my computer. Yeah. I have my little turntables.
I'm sorry, these things are like, it's like sucking out a baby bottle. I feel like I look crazy and shit online. Look at the pacifier and shit.
That's why I brought you the big one. I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and give you a regular water bottle. But I bought the turntables, and I actually DJ'd an event. It was a opening of a med spa,
Yeah.
And I DJ. That's the only DJ gig I ever did. But,
Those gigs.
yeah,
I mean, those gigs are dope. Like again,
Yeah.
anytime you can get out there and practice is good. You know what I'm saying?
I'm probably not as good as you by
listen,
any means.
it takes time.
But yeah.
Everyone has to start somewhere. You know what I mean? I have to start somewhere as well. You know.
And so, do you travel a lot currently?
Yeah, I still travel. Like I just was in New York for like 2 weeks. I'm in Miami this weekend. Yeah.
So does that put like a lot of stress on you?
Yeah, a little bit, but I love traveling. You know, like before pre-COVID, I was traveling. Like I was out of town like maybe 2-3 times a week. And I also had a residency. I had a residency in Dubai for like 3 years. I had a residency in Paris for a year back in the day. Yeah, I've played all over the world: Singapore, fucking Dubai. I mean, Abu Dhabi, Japan.
That is so cool to be able to have a residency somewhere doing what you love to do, making people.
Yeah, Dubai is one of my favorite cities. Like again, like we were, you know, they did this whole like New York. They were flying a bunch of New York DJs out there. So the whole promotion was like New York night at One Oak, Dubai, or whatever. And then eventually this place called Base. And yeah, it was dope. We were out there once a month. Was it once or twice?
And how long do you usually stay out there?
I mean, so it's like at least a 15-hour flight. So you're out there probably like 3 days.
Oh, wow.
3 days, sometimes 4. Depending on the price of the return flight, because, you know, that the flights are expensive as hell.
Right.
So, like, if it's really expensive, they may put you out there 5 days just because the flight would be cheaper. But
that's fine. Shit, put me out there at 10.
Dubai is one of those places. It's just like Dubai is one of those places you're like, is this a real place?
Really?
It's just like Lambos everywhere. And
that's
like
so crazy,
it's just
right?
like very, very opulent. You know what I mean?
Where they get their money from? What, like oil or what? Because it's a lot of money out there, boy.
I mean, yeah, I think that I don't think because Dubai is they created Dubai. It was just desert. It was built. It's been around since, I don't know. I think Dubai came around like in the 50s or 60s or something like that. It's a new city, you know? But they're constantly building out there, and like again, the architecture is crazy. The restaurants, it's just like a Las Vegas of the Arab world, you know?
Yeah, I hear it. Like everything there is just modern, high tech,
super modern, high tech. But like, you know, again, it's, you know, it's in the Arab world, so you can't. There's no like public drinking. You can't. Like you don't have like bars everywhere. You can drink inside the hotels in certain places, but you can't. There's still, you know.
So can they drink in the clubs and stuff like that?
Yeah, nightclubs. So most of the nightclubs are located within hotels, and the hotels you can drink in the hotel.
Okay.
But like if you go out to like the mall, you can't like. There's no like bar. You can just roll up into. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like very specific places. You still have to be like respectful, like the way women dress out in public, for the most part. But then like at the club, it's like whatever. You know.
That's dope.
And you have women from all over Again, it's like an international hub of like super wealthy individuals. So you have like women from like Sri Lanka and like Israel and fucking all over Eastern Europe like flying in.
That sounds like a party.
Yeah, a bunch of
sounds like a
I'm
party
married,
to
so
me.
Like, yeah, I just noticed. I just noticed it when I was playing.
I meant to ask you this earlier. Where'd your name come from? DJ MOS.
It's the initials. My initials. So my name's Masood Obana Semple.
Say that one more time. Masood Obana
Semple.
Semple.
Yeah.
Like
so Masood means fortunate in Swahili.
Oh, you're very fortunate. Look at you.
And Obana
words have so much power.
They have meaning, right?
Yeah.
And then Obana means in the image of my father.
That's dope.
In Swahili. Yeah.
Do you look just like your dad?
Yeah, I do look a lot like my dad. Yeah.
That's dope. So, since you're like always on the go and stuff, and you know we talk about fitness and stuff on this show. So, how do you stay in shape, especially like that nightlife? I already know, like you know, because you probably sleep during the day and do your thing at night.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a. I would say in the beginning of my career, I was, you know, definitely sleeping in, like you know, waking up at like 2-3 in the afternoon, like hungover, and you know what I mean. Like it was really bad, especially when you work in nightclubs. Like I remember at one point I was doing like working like 5-6 days nights a week, and it was rough on your body. But you know, when you're young, you can just bounce back for that quick. Yeah. But you know, now I'm shit, I'm up by like 10 o'clock most nights. And also moving from New York to LA made a difference because New York nightlife, like clubs close at
Way
4.
later, yeah.
5. Now I'm out of the club by 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then also being like, a lot of times I'm not I'm not playing from beginning to end. I'll play from like a 2-hour set from like 12 to 2. A lot of times 11 to 2. So the sets are shorter. So I'm like trying to and I'm also trying to watch how much I drink because again,
I know that's hard being in that.
It's
in,
tough
in that
you
environment.
get caught up in like I'm still working on it. Like I still like to have some drinks and DJ and all that. That helps.
Does that help with the DJing? Like when you have a few drinks?
I always used to say like you put yourself in the same frame of mind as the audience, so you kind of like are able to vibe with them. So like if I'm drinking and like the audience is drinking, it's like what would I want to hear next? Like I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to hear this next. You know what I mean? As opposed to being sober and like you're like watching the crowd. Like what do I think they want to hear next? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to hear my bed right now.
So what's your drink of choice? When
tequila.
Tequila.
I'm sponsored by.
That's a healthy alternative, because they say like dark liquor,
it's because of the sugar and all that stuff. Yeah,
mixed drinks. Stay away from mixed drinks.
I think tequila, they say, is 0 calorie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also like sponsored by 1942.
Oh,
Don Julio, so.
That's dope. How'd you get that?
It's through my manager, but Don Julio's doing like a kind of a DJ program. So I've been part of that for like 4 or 5 years. But to answer your question about staying healthy, it's like I used to have a trainer I was working with for a while, and that helped. Definitely when you start training and like making sure you get sleep, man. Like when on your days off, rest. You know what I'm saying? Like that helps a lot. It gives you the energy to kind of keep doing it, because if you just it's a brutal life.
Yeah.
It's really hard on your body after a while.
So how long were you with your trainer?
I was with my trainer for I moved out here like 6 years ago. So I was with him for about 4 years before I kind of stopped. I've been trying to get back into training because I've taken some. I mean, obviously COVID played a huge part of me. It's not working out. We have weights at home. My wife works out diligently. She works out every day. But I feel the difference when I stop like going working out and stuff.
What do you feel?
You feel like more sluggish during the day. Like you don't really recover as quickly. Like when I take time and I'm like hit the track and start jogging and running, like you have more energy. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy how that works. When you get up in the morning, you go work out, use all this energy, it gives you more energy for the day.
It also clears your head.
Yes,
it working out and just running or just going out for a walk, it like release endorphins and puts you in a better mood and like helps you think and clears your mind, because a lot of times again you're out there drinking, listening to loud music, everyone talk, like you need to like
decompress.
Yeah, you need to decompress. And working out's a great way to decompress.
What's some of your favorite workouts? Like when you were training with your trainer, what are some of your favorite workouts that helped you reach your goals?
Well, I always love like arm and shoulder workouts. Shoulders are kind of big, but yeah, arm and shoulder workouts. I hate doing the treadmill. I like playing basketball. Playing basketball is my thing. I love playing ball. But I hate running.
You're good at basketball?
I used to be good.
Oh, okay.
I used to be good until I hurt my knee in college.
Oh, how'd you do that? What happened?
Sprained my MCL playing pickup ball.
Basketball messed me up too. I was playing a pickup game at 24 and tore my Achilles.
See, that's the one thing I'm scared of. That's why I try not to go hard when I'm playing ball nowadays, because I'm like, I can't tear my Achilles.
Yeah, you have to make sure you stretch, because I didn't stretch, and
Well, there's this new you ever heard of the guy, the knees over toes guy?
Who's that?
There's this trainer. I saw him on this Joe Rogan podcast, and I follow him on because I follow a bunch of basketball Instagram pages, and I think it's called ATG training or whatever. So the guy basically did some research about how he does squats with knees over toes and all these weird workouts that work out different tendons and stuff, and it's supposed to strengthen your tendons between your knees, your Achilles. It prevents injury, but it also gives you explosive leaping abilities, and like it just changes your whole thing.
And what's his name? You said
I must forward to you. I forget what
Okay.
it was. It's a bunch of guys.
knees
who are
over
preaching
toes or toes
Yeah,
over knees,
put-
whichever.
Just Google knees over toes, and you'll see. But like, yeah, the
Knees
dude is
over
like,
toes.
and all the dudes are like these like kind of like nondescript looking white dudes, but they're jumping out the fucking gym.
That's dope. I can never jump that high.
Yeah, I was never like, I didn't really have abs like that.
So when you do like stay disciplined, what are some things that you do to stay in that zone? You know, because that's the hardest part. It's the discipline. And I know everything goes in waves. You know, we have our times where we're disciplined,
Right.
and then there's some times where we fall off. And the goal is to not entirely fall off. You
right.
know, so when you are disciplined, like what are some tactics or some things you do to help you stay in that zone?
You know, I don't know. I always like believed in motivation. I kind of try not to like. I think it's more about just making it part of your schedule. Like you have to just. The first couple weeks, the first 2-3 weeks are just gonna suck.
Right.
You're not gonna want to do it. But if you can force yourself to like muscle through the first like 21 days, first 3 weeks of doing workouts and being consistent with something, it just becomes part of your routine.
Right.
Like I remember again, like I hate running, but I remember my trainer used to play football. He'd start me off doing like sprints on the treadmill. Like that's how we start the workout. Before we even lift the weight, I'm doing like 30-second sprints, 30 seconds on, 50 seconds
get
off.
that heart rate up.
Yeah, but we're doing like 10, 15 of these joints in a row, and I'm like, dude, you're killing me. But after like 3-4 weeks of doing it, it was like, yo,
Right.
it felt like nothing.
Yeah, and you saw the difference too. Like,
Yeah, you could tell before he was like, dude, you're not. You're like, you got to pick it up, and to the point he was like, oh my god, dude, you're killing this shit right now. And I'm like, oh, I am killing it. Then it becomes fun, you know?
Right. So is it because when you start to get good at it, it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when you start to get good at it and the workouts start to come easily, that's when things start to get. I learned that's when like you get it. It becomes part of your life. It becomes like you want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, I had a trainer back when I was in New York that like, I think it was the most consistent I'd been working. I worked with this guy for like months, and I remember it going from me not wanting to show up to me going in there and we just working. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing workouts. In the beginning, I couldn't even do pull-ups like that. Now I'm knocking out like 15, 20 pull-ups like nothing. And I was like impressed. You know?
Yeah. A lot of times we don't even know what we can do until we push ourselves there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. You gotta kind of like set a goal that seems unattainable. You know, and that's what you gotta reach for. When you start setting goals that are unattainable, you're gonna reach a place that you never thought you could. Just trying to get there. You know what I mean?
So what are some of your fitness goals going forward?
First of all, to get back in the gym. First of all, number one.
So this your fall off period?
No, I'm in my fall off period right now. Like, dude, it's like, yeah, I'm still got that post COVID weight, bro. No, my goal, like right now my wife just bought me this Apple Watch, so I got like the steps tracker.
Oh, it counts the calories you burn and stuff,
calories
right?
and step tracker. So like my goal right now, I've been doing like trying to do 10,000 steps a day.
Okay.
Making sure that I'm active, trying to go out and just jog, just kind of get myself back into
the swing
of working out. You know what I'm saying? But like my goal is just to get back in the gym 4 days a week.
Yeah, and it's cool too because you've worked out for, I'm sure, a lifetime. You know, whether it's on or off.
Yeah.
You know, you have that muscle memory.
Exactly.
So once you get back, you know, it ain't nothing to get back. You feel me?
Yeah, once you get back into it, yeah. Like I still have some of my strength when I go to the gym, but like again, for me, it's like the cardio, and like that's the thing that I hate the most.
Do you find it like getting older is more difficult to stay? Because I know when I was like 21, you know.
You said what?
When I was 21, I was just like, now.
Yeah, you
know.
find it like it's like you got less. Again, it's this. You do find it's a little harder. Like you get up a little more tired, a little less energy. But I also attribute that to not being in the gym. I haven't been in the gym in a minute. You know what I'm saying? you find that, when you eat, things stay on you a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
You just become less active.
Yeah, that's crazy how that works. Food.
Nutrition is a big part of it,
the biggest part. So, seeing that you've been in the DJ game for, quite some time, what are some like tips and knowledge you can give to somebody who has not came anywhere near to where you're at and they're just starting?
DJing, like
tips.
tips.
Yeah. What's your top 5?
I would say practice.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, just practice. Research your music. Learn about music. Even music that you don't even think that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had situations where I had to play country music,
Mm-hmm.
rock, like house music. Just learn every genre. You know what I'm saying? New genres that come up. Like, it's not only just hip hop and Afrobeat and R&B. Like, listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And learn that, because that's gonna definitely help you in your career. I'd say be professional.
Mm-hmm.
I say, like, if you book a gig and you make a promise you're gonna show up on time.
Yeah, that's a big part.
Show up early. Show up prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave early. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's etiquette. So
etiquette is a big thing.
Etiquette.
Like, be professional. Show up looking the part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't. Like, it's a job at the end of the day. Like, it's fun, but it's a job. You know what I mean? So
now, when you say show up looking the part, because there's some DJs that have a persona, like where they wear.
No, that's fine. No, that's
Okay.
fine. No. I'm not saying not be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, don't show up to a wedding in jeans and a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just roll out of bed, show up to somebody's wedding.
Right.
Like, you have to, like, again, be professional.
Uh-huh.
What else? Yeah, what's another good one? If you do those things,
Mm-hmm.
that's really the crux of it,
Just being consistent.
Being consistent, pay attention to the climate around you. Go out and listen to other DJs.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research and just study it. Like, if you study this shit and you really love it, you're gonna be successful. It's not difficult.
Right.
It's just, again, it just takes work.
Right.
And more work that I think a lot of people understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you deserve your spot, man. So,
also, networking. Sorry, last one.
What's so funny? I was literally just about to ask you that.
My networking,
yeah. Because I was gonna say, I'm sure you've been around a lot of high profile people.
Yeah.
Like, how do you use that to your advantage? How do you make sure that you talk to everyone and keep these relationships?
Well, first of all, you're not going to be. It's important to try to be in those rooms where people that you want to meet, like, know who you are, and like, it's important to be persistent. Don't be annoying, but be persistent. Again, like.
And what's the difference in being?
Well, annoying is like constantly badgering people, like, you know what I mean, like. Listen, you're not going to meet every single person. Like, you could be in a room with Jay and all these different people. You're not going to meet everybody, and not everybody's going to like you, and not everybody's going to want to talk to you. But the important thing is to be in the room and, like, just, it's not going to happen the first time. When I say being persistent, I mean, like, understand it's not going to happen the first time, the second time, maybe not even the third, fourth, or 50th time, but eventually it will happen. Like, if you're in those rooms, eventually people are going to notice that you're in that room. And, give out your card. This is back when I was giving out business. I still have business cards.
And you still use them?
I still use them.
Yeah.
I still give out cards. People may not like, but at least someone has your card on their desk. But yeah, networking is so important to DJing, because it's because people want to hire their friends. So, like, forming real relationships with people is so important. I know a lot of DJs like emailing people about gigs and shit. Yeah, that may work sometimes.
Yeah.
But, like, realistically, people hire people that they fuck with. That's what they hire their friends. So, like,
so you got to get out there.
Forming is.
You got to be in these streets, son.
Yeah. And the funny thing you'll find is that, like, the people that were my peers, the people that I remember were interns when I started DJing, and like just starting out at companies that were like the kids that are my age. Those are the ones right now who are like running companies and have budgets and are doing events. So it's like I realized, oh shit, you know what? I'm sitting there trying to meet the CEO, meet the person who's the event planner when I'm 20, but like, nah, it's the person, his assistant.
Yeah.
That mean we kicking it. Like now he's like, so it's like you come up with those people. So like, don't just try to network the people at the top.
That's
like,
a good point.
It's the people that are on your level. That those are the people that eventually are going to be doing the things you want to do later on in their career. So it's like you start coming up with the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all start coming up together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, meet everybody from the top down.
Yeah. No, that's very smart.
Another cool and interesting thing is I remember when I was starting out. I remember when I used to try to get into nightclubs in New York, and you know, you want to get past the bouncers and the doormen were like the people, the gatekeepers. So I remember I used to, when I wouldn't get in, I would give out my mixtape to like my party mix to like the bouncers and the doorman. I would just kind of like kick it with them outside. And then I would come back to the club the next week, and they'd be like, "Oh, dude, listen to your mix. I love your mix, yo. Let's come on." So it's dope. Like you said, a lot of. So like when I go to New York, it's so funny. Like I haven't been in the scene in New York in a while. So it's important to just again befriend everybody,
right,
down to the busboys, and the bartenders.
Just be a dope soul.
Just be a good person.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
just be a good person, and you'll go far.
There you go. That's the major secret right there. Be a good person.
Yeah, don't be offended. Don't be offended by getting rejected. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's part of the journey.
That's their job. That's their job.
Yeah,
that's their job is to like not let you in. You know what I'm saying? That's their job.
But you got to be persistent.
If you're nice, then most people are assholes.
Yeah,
most people are just like, what the fuck? But like, if you're like cool, like they'll remember that.
Right.
It was cool. Like he's not tripping.
Yeah, that's.
They'll eventually fuck with you.
Yeah. It's all about, like you said, just creating these relationships. And that's no matter what you're doing, whether you're DJing, whether you're doing a podcast, whatever, you create these relationships and
genuine relationships.
Yeah,
not like those relationships where you it's based on you doing stuff for me. Like genuinely.
Yeah. Well, that's not a relationship. That's someone like mooching or like
exactly.
Relationship is dual.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Yeah. Well, right now I'm working on since the end of COVID I've been working on music. So I've been producing. Working on my own stuff now, so I'm hoping to release some stuff next year.
Okay, so you make when you say produce, you make beats and all that stuff. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I've been making beats for for years.
Is that usually how it is? Most DJs know how to produce.
I think nowadays, because of technology, I think most DJs end up falling into production. I mean, it's just natural. You're around music and around artists all the time, so you get asked for beats. So I've submitted beats to artists over the years.
That's cool.
But again, I feel like because of the way music and everything's being consumed, and it's easier to make stuff. I think it's better to kind of produce stuff for yourself. Because you can promote it yourself. You're out there DJing in front of all these people every week. Like you can showcase your music.
So what kind of beats do you make? Like what is your thing?
A little bit of everything. Like, a lot of hip hop, R&B, some dance music. Like I kind of try to make records that are similar to that kind of sets that I play. And the sets that I play are all over the place. So it's kind of incorporating a bunch of different styles. You know what I'm saying?
So do you ever play your stuff with
I have.
mix? Oh, that's cool.
I have played some of my remixes over the years with my sets. I'm very self-conscious about the stuff that I make. I mean, I'm sure most artists are.
Yeah, most artists,
I'll listen to a record, oh, no, to say that.
We're always our own worst critic, though,
Yeah.
Because I think we go harder on ourselves
than
other people may, go on us. But
yeah, my wife will listen to the music that I make. She's like, dude, this is dope. I'm like, nah. She's like, listen, I'm gonna steal your hard drive and start playing this stuff in the club. I'm like,
so what's gonna get you out of that?
Yeah. No, again, it's one of those things just conquering that kind of, I wouldn't say fear of rejection, because if you fear that people are not gonna like what it is, it's just getting over this, just putting your music out there, just put it out there, and just nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing something that probably people are not going to be hearing in the records that I think is not good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that we try to we sit on stuff and try to perfect it.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Perfect it,
Yeah. 'Cause I do music too. It was funny. He seen my name on the internet the other day, and because my name's Lamor Compton, that's my actual last name. And he was like, "Hey, you know, as a singer, what's your name?" And I was like, "No, that's me."
Dude, that's me.
Yeah, you know how in Google it says like artists or whatever you do. Yeah. So yeah, I started out acting, but then I started doing music. I actually got the opportunity to go with. You know who AD is?
AD?
Yeah. He's a rapper, but he got the opportunity to go with Bone Thugs on a tour sponsored by Monster, and so I was able to go and experience that. And,
amazing.
Yeah, showcase my music and stuff like that. But yeah, it's always like that with artists. You know, you hear your own stuff, and you're kind of like.
You're like, it's not quite finished yet. I gotta add this. It needs something else.
And like, everyone else is like, man, that shit is dope.
It's
dope.
I was watching the You ever watch the Tribe Called Quest documentary?
I haven't seen it.
All right, you should watch it with the one that Michael Rappaport produced. But Chris Lighty, rest in peace, another one of my good dudes that kind of helped me out. He was managing Tribe, and he was talking about either Low End Theory. What was the second album? Anyway, he was talking about Low End Theory, and he was talking about how like Q-Tip was just a perfectionist. Like he would not he said if I didn't go in there and just snatch the album out of their hands, he said they'd still be working on it today.
That's funny.
You know, and that made me realize it's like a lot of artists go through that thing where they never think it's finished.
Right.
Like they're never. I'm sure like Mozart and Beethoven were like, this is not done yet. But like, no, dude, we're playing it.
Right.
It's done.
Yes. The mind of an artist.
Yeah.
So I started this new thing. It's called This or That. So what I want to do, I want to ask you like a few choices of something, and you choose which one appeals to you more and why. Okay. Just so we can see how you think a little bit.
Okay.
So if you had the choice, would you be the smartest person in the world or the richest person in the world?
Ooh.
That's a hard one, right?
The smartest person in the world or the richest person in the world?
What about you, Nick? You taking the money? What about you?
That's a great answer. You could hire the smartest. I mean, I'm leaning towards the smartest person in the world just because I just like, I don't know. I'm just like one of those, I just like learning things, you know, and I like knowing shit, you know. I think if you're the smartest person in the world, you can figure out a way to be the richest. But then again, it'd be easier to be the richest.
Yeah.
So much. Like, why don't you just take the money and just relax? I can learn. If I'm rich, I don't have to worry about working, so I can learn. I can become the smartest person in the world if I'm rich. Damn, it's horrible.
That is hilarious.
I'm a Libra, so I'm like this. I'm like indecisive.
But what if? So you're the richest person in the world. If you're not smart, though, will you continue to be the richest person in the world?
Listen, the smartest person in the world right now is not the richest person in the world. Elon Musk is not the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
Smartest person in the world is like probably teaching at like teaching at some weird university. Like.
He said some weird university.
You got like a ton of books and no money. That's
You're right. That is hilarious.
Like calculus don't pay the bills.
He said there's somebody smart as hell
like
at a college we ain't never heard of before.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is not the richest person in the world.
That is hilarious. All right,
shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't play. I'm one of my favorite people.
I'm sure he got some bread though, but you're right.
He does bread.
He's not the smartest person in the world. So bad haircut or bad dye job?
Dye job? What do you mean?
Like if you dyed your hair, but they messed up your dye color or something.
I'd rather have a bad dye job. I mean, listen, a dope shape up can make anybody anything look good. Like a good look. You line it up right, you never know. Like
you got different spots and everything.
Yo, it could be cool. Hey, exactly.
You all right? Hey, that's crazy how a lineup does.
Changes everything. A fresh fade will make anything look good.
That is insane. I just got a haircut the other day, and I told my barber, I said, "Dang, you just changed my life, bro."
Oh hell yeah!
One haircut. changed my skin tone, everything. Like,
I come home with a new haircut, when a fresh haircut, my wife was like, damn. She said it to me the other day. She's like, I didn't think you needed a haircut before you left the house, but damn,
it's
you
always
need a
like
haircut,
that, right?
I'm like,
like, yeah.
I noticed we get into a lot less arguments after I have a haircut.
Like, oh, that lineup is so crisp.
Yeah, like
I'll bring this up next week.
Yeah, she's mad at me a lot less when I have a fresh fade.
After his lineup then grew out.
On the couch again.
Now she wake up, it's time to start some shit.
Exactly.
His lineup is it's not fresh. That is hilarious. So would you date a girl with bad breath or bad body odor? Which one, if you had only one choice? Stank breath or stank pits?
I mean, they're both curable.
But you got to deal with one. It's either like...
You know what? It'd probably be body odor because, like, I like kissing and, like, I can't deal with that. That's just a deal. That's really bad. I've never really felt like I've never really met a girl with bad breath, and that'd throw me off.
Right. Hey, for real.
I've
hey,
seen
Nick.
girls. No, I've been in a club and like I've been in a club.
Oh, I know,
like
all the time,
bad breath. Girl passed by me and like, damn.
She come up to the
Like
booth
a
like,
taxi
"Hey,
driver.
can you play this song?"
Seemed like a taxi driver. It's terrible. But it didn't make me be like, oh, that's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
But a bad breath is like, ooh.
What about you, Nick?
eating
Bad
garbage?
breath or bad body odor? What you choosing?
Jeez. I'm gonna go with I'll take the body odor.
Body odor too.
I've been around a girl bad breath. And it's unbearable.
It's unbearable. Like, baby, what are you doing?
Yeah, it stink like it's
The spit stink.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, man, do you not smell your own breath? Like, what, like, how did?
Gum? You're supposed gum for.
Hey, it'd be something though that gum like just don't help.
It just doesn't help.
Yeah.
You know what it is? The thing is like you're not drinking enough water. You out in
Something.
the streets a little too much. You need a detox. You need a green juice.
That is so-
You need some celery in your life.
That is.
Some celery, some cucumber.
Go ahead and fix up that gut one time with the celery juice. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they say that's where bad breath starts.
Microbiome,
It's-
man,
yeah.
right? Probiotics.
Oh man! Shout out to the girls with bad breath.
Yeah, listen, it's curable.
Yeah. Curable, like it's well,
disease.
there is. I guess it is. Well, isn't there some called what
Halitosis.
halitosis?
It's halitosis.
Halitosis. Ooh, that's how stank. Where it's just like, don't be in a car with somebody with stank breath too.
Oh Lord.
That's just, just circulating.
Listen, I've been that person a couple times. But like, my pops was like, "Yo," my pop would tell us like my pops. He was like, "Dude." I was like high school, but I was like, "Damn, Dad, really?"
Is
can't hate on that.
That's the worst, huh? When someone like tell you, my daughter, she done told me before, like, "Daddy, your breath stink." I'm like, "Oh."
Even from a kid, it's like, you don't care,
I
like-
think it's worse.
But you have to. At the end of the day, you gotta appreciate it.
Yeah.
'Cause they ain't trying to let you walk
trying to
around.
help.
looking
I know that's the
crazy.
worst, right?
I'm like,
You've
don't
been
have me
walking
coming
around
out here
all day.
smelling Crazy? Come on.
You get home and smell your breath. You be like, "Dang, no one told me. No one told me all day." That's like when you had someone got a booger, and it's like, damn, or the spit right there in the corner. And you be like, "Oh, I want to tell them so bad." Like,
Listen, if you're out, ever out and I eat something, I'll be like, I'm not talking to people. I'm talking like this. Hey,
that is hilarious.
I don't want to be the one.
This is the last one. So, would you rather have a big chest or big biceps?
I have decent sized biceps. I feel not too long.
Uh-huh.
You know, I need to work out, but I think I want a chest.
Chest. What about you, Nick?
I'm going for abs, nigga.
Abs.
Yo, 6-pack all day, right?
He said, "I ain't never had abs."
I never had 6-pack either, bro.
That's all diet, you guys.
I'm on a meal. Do you measure your food? You have to measure your food.
I don't measure my food.
But
Look.
some people just naturally with genetics. How much is
Look,
that genetics, you think?
the past 3 years, probably 3-4 years, I never really had abs like how I have right now. I totally changed my diet. Like I've always been bulky, like and work out in the gym and stuff, but I was eating horrible. I was eating like McDonald's, fast food.
But you see, I don't eat McDonald's and fast food
Well,
like that.
Even processed food. So like, what's your diet like? What do you?
I'm mostly like a rice and like chicken thighs, chicken breasts, seafood. Like, I mean, my diet's all over the place, but I'm not like, I'll eat a burger here and there, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some pizza here and there, but not like, I'm not like eating it consistently.
Right. They start in the kitchen, man.
I mean, pasta.
Yeah.
My own biggest problem.
I eat gluten-free pasta.
And gluten-free really help?
Yeah, because you can even feel the difference. It's way lighter. Because you know how after you eat pasta, you get like all lethargic and stuff? Like when you eat gluten-free pasta, I don't feel that at all. White rice, I don't eat a lot of white rice.
You're not even like jasmine rice and all that stuff?
I eat more black rice and brown rice. Black rice is high in I always tell people this all the time. I've said this on another podcast too. But black rice is that shit, man. I'm telling you. Now, you have to cook it different than regular rice, but it's so beneficial.
I ordered from Lemonade. They got like they use like the black or red rice now.
Okay.
Like,
that rice is really good because it's less starchy. And starches, they turn into sugar and then sugar
turns to fat.
Yeah, you know, so that. And I cut out a lot of processed foods, man. Like I wasn't eating no fast food. Anything that came really in a can or a box, I didn't mess with. I had a high protein diet and like lots of veggies and intense workouts. Right. You know, so that's the thing too. But once you start changing your diet, your energy levels change, and then when you work out, your exercises become more intense. So I think for you, I don't know, it's the pasta too, and that was one of my hardest things was cutting out pasta and French fries. Because that was my... I
tried gluten-free pasta. I even tried chickpea pasta.
I know it don't taste the same. I know. No, you're right.
I even tried those, like, what are those clear noodles? What is it called? Like
the glass noodles?
The glass noodles or like they have another joint. They have a rice packet. They have the rice. They have rice and they have like the noodles. And I forget what it's called, but they're clear. Something from Japan, some joints. I tried those joints. I was like, this is not the same. I want cauliflower rice.
But you know what? Look. It's about you're not eating for the flavor, which you can. Like if you flavor it right and you know how to cook, like you can make
hot sauce all day. I'm like
that works.
All day, sriracha on everything.
Yeah, because the food is not going to taste the same because you know it's just not the same. You know, but I say you sacrifice that for just a certain period of time until you get to where
you want to go,
and then you start having your little cheat days where you know
they got to try to put me on a meal plan and like I cook so I know how to make food taste, you know what I'm saying? I guess would you have to like cut out salt and all that stuff too?
I didn't. I cut out sugar. I didn't cut out salt and spices and all that stuff. No, I cooked. I still use butter, but I cut out like French fries, pizza. Like I don't even remember the last time I had
like
pizza.
Genetics, bro. Everybody sounds
it's
like
not. You gotta put in the work, man.
No, eating McDonald's.
Look,
like
I'll show you. I'll show you.
All you gotta do.
Look, I'll show you the video.
Stop eating fries, you get abs. That's a secret. Like really.
Hey, Dr. Sebi said that too. He said, you cut out French fries because all that stuff is so much saturated fat, man.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
You know, so after a while, that shit adds up.
I could not eat I can't eat fast food like that. Like man, I feel terrible after I eat fast. So I don't eat. Like it's not.
A friend of mine actually he don't work out like that, and he started fasting and cut out like carbs, and he said he dropped like 14 pounds in 2 weeks. Yeah. But food is really like that medicine. You know, once you change your diet, you'll be surprised how much weight you'll drop quick.
That's true.
You know,
I went on a 21-day. Raw food cleanse. I did it twice. The second time I didn't last. I lasted like 14. But the first time I did it close. I did like 18 and 19 days. And it's like based on Dr. Sebi's. And I felt like face cleared up.
I'm telling
mental
you.
focus.
Yes.
Like it's just. I mean, it's just not sustainable.
Yeah,
like having
it's the
like
discipline.
everything is like everything raw. So it's not even cooked. Like it's not vegan. It's like raw food. So like I had to like use a blender to like blend, looking like cashews and all this stuff and walnuts. It's like, you know what I mean?
Interesting. So you put that into like a shake or something, or
No, you're just eating like again. They said, so when I started it, I was like, all right, day one, I'm like, what am I supposed to eat? Like, I'm sitting there eating like bananas and like lettuce. I'm like, what am
natural stuff?
Like, natural stuff.
What is this natural shit I gotta eat?
I was like, I can't last 21 days eating like an animal, you know. And then, but then she sent me like these recipes. So like I tried like. You can make like a raw tomato sauce. You take like tomatoes and add like raw garlic. But again, that didn't. I didn't really mess with that. But
did you not have like any cheat days though?
No cheat days. So
see, that's what it was. You gotta have at least one.
Well,
or
I
two.
cheated twice. I went and I ordered Crossroads one night. And I had like some chickpeas and like. But like some of the recipes were good. Like I did this. I made these like lettuce tacos. So like I took like the butter lettuce, and then I took like walnuts, mushrooms, and I marinated them in like soy sauce with a little bit of agave, and then you put them in the blender, and it makes a thing that's resembling like meat. You put that in like the lettuce cup with like some avocado and some cherry tomato with a little bit of sea salt, and it tastes like a taco.
So you a chef, huh?
Oh no, I cook. Yeah,
that's dope.
And then I ended up making like a dressing out of that and using like a lot of avocado, like salad with like avocados and like some like cashews and. So
I'm gonna check back in with you in about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, that's what you're about to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on your head, man.
Yeah, man. I'm not doing the raw food cleanse anymore. But I know that when I did it, I definitely felt better. But like again, it's hard to sustain.
But you said your skin cleared up.
Yeah, everything.
How much weight did you lose?
I forget. I lost a good amount of weight, but again, weight falls. If I'm not like working out, it falls. It takes a minute for weight to fall off of me, you know. So I maybe lost like 10, 15 pounds.
Well, that's because you do have to burn the excess fat. You want your body to go into ketosis and start using the fat, you know. So that's why you got to work out and get that heart rate going. But yeah, man. Well. Thank you for being on the show. This is fun. I learned a lot about you, and blessings to you and your career, man.
Thank you.
And you've already played at the Oscars, and I'm just excited to see what else is in store for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Tell everyone where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at DJ MOS. I'm also on Twitter at DJ MOS. My SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/DJMOS6. What else? Yeah, that's basically where you can find out what I'm doing. You know, I DJ every Fridays at the Edition Hotel in LA. And
I'm gonna come vibe with you one time. Yeah, because you had invited me to because I met you at the Oscars party, and then you had another event that you had DJ'd at this club. What was it? Was like all these balloons and the
disco balls.
Yeah,
that's the Edition. Yeah.
Okay. That's where I was at. That
party's dope. Yeah,
that joint was live.
It's a dope party, and I'm doing other clubs in like in LA and New York. So like if you guys log onto my Instagram, you'll see like where I'm at.
Cool. Well, you try and have a good time, listen to some dope music. Because he's dope. Like everybody in there was like old school, like back in the day where people create the circles and dance and
it's a party.
Like it was a party.
It's a party.
It wasn't just people just smoking weed and standing around like zombies, because that's what they be doing in the clubs now. It's so crazy.
Social anxiety is a real thing.
Yeah, man.
People, so I don't fault them, but it's what it is.
So if you're trying to be a DJ, look at this video. He dropped all the gems here. It's not that hard. You just gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
And stay passionate, you know?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Well, that was another episode of Lamor's More Fitness and Finance. I'll see you guys next time to give you some more. All right.
Peace.